Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of Beyond Skin Deep. I'm so excited for today's episode because we are doing another crazy stories series. This is my series where I talk about med spa mayhem, surgical procedures gone wrong, just insane stories that I feel we need to know more about. I'm not a news reporter, I'm not a doctor or a medical professional. I am just someone with a platform that enjoys storytelling. I have my handy dandy iPad. We're going to get into it now. And I had to start off with this because I cannot tell you how many DMs and messages I got about the biggest scam right now in cosmetics and beauty. And that is veneer techs. There is no such thing as a veneer technician. It does not exist. There are dentists and there are orthodontists. A veneer tech is like actually astounding. Like I've gone down so many TikTok videos of like real dentists that have TikTok platforms, just jaws to the floor, seeing that we are now illegally holding veneer tech certification classes. There are veneer techs taking pictures of them with their veneer tech certification and posting it on Instagram. And then these people are creating veneer tech Instagrams and book me websites so people can go get composite veneers. This is kind of what's like blowing my mind because, I mean, again, anyone can go rent out a leasing space and pay $1,000, $2,000, $4,000 a month for a leasing space and do whatever they want in it. Apparently they can do composite veneers and lip injections and all these beauty procedures illegally, and no one enforces the fact that this is illegal. So we're going to look at this. I mean, first off, like looking at this picture, if your dentist is tatted all the way up his neck, I'm sorry. Like I don't want to be judgmental, but dentists don't have neck tats. And this guy has 28,000 likes on this photo, and he's bragging about the fact that he is now able to illegally put on veneers for people. I mean, it's just insane. But wait, there's more. Let's keep going. A woman on TikTok who goes by Winter tells her story about how Smile Dental Center 32 in Miami ruined her life and ruined her teeth.
I had dental work done at Smile Dental Center 32 in Miami, and it ruined my life.
Winter says that she paid $10,000 to get her teeth done at this location. Essentially, they messed up and distorted her jaw. She now lives with chronic jaw pain and TMJ, and she also explains in this emotional video that it has been a 2-year-long journey that has costed her over $80,000 for her to reverse the wrongdoing done on her teeth and to try and live pain-free again, which feels impossible. Mind you, insurance also won't cover cost, and it's impossible for her to sue the dentist. Obviously, I'm not a lawyer. I don't know why it's impossible to sue, but in many of these cases, it is impossible to sue. Really important things to realize is that a veneer technician and any non-medical practitioner cannot get insurance. You cannot get malpractice insurance if you are not a doctor. You cannot get certain kind of insurances without certain qualifications. That essentially means that they get off scotch-free if something does happen. Unfortunately, this girl is still struggling with her jaw pain and with her teeth, and she's been having to work with other dentists to fix the damage that has already been done by the people that initially installed her veneers. I will also note, it's kind of crazy because after I did some more digging, I realized that there's another girl who flew in to go get her teeth done at this place, and she spent $4,500 for composite veneers. Within one day, 2 veneers crack, and then after 2 days, another veneer cracks. So in 1 week, 3 veneers are totally cracked. When she goes to call the office and tell them that her veneers have cracked, they respond, "Well, this is what happens when you purchase our cheapest package option." Imagine paying $4,500 for composite veneers at a place that looks totally legit, has dentists on site, everything, and then have to pay extra to fix it. I mean, that's horrible. And again, the thing that sucks most in these types of situations is just the fact that you cannot sue. This girl who spent $4,500, she's not going to be able to sue. She's probably going to have to go spend another $4,500 or double or triple that to go get her teeth done correctly by a different dentist. Also, I wanted us to think about a few things because while I was doing my research in regards to this whole veneer scam and illegal veneer technicians situation, I realized, one, putting veneers on unclean teeth is crazy. Apparently, a dentist was talking about how there is now a thing called veneer breath because people are getting these composite veneers over teeth full of bacteria that haven't been properly cleaned. And then, these veneer technicians or just bad dentists are putting the composite over the tooth, and then the composite is harvesting all of this bacteria, which leads me to my second point, is that your oral health directly affects your heart. What your mouth is able to absorb, chemicals, bacteria, everything goes into your bloodstream and directly affects your heart. So imagine the bacteria that you're absorbing, also the chemicals during an installation of veneers. I mean, I can't imagine what kind of quality these veneer technicians are even using on the teeth or what their practice is. Like, you have no idea what you could be inhaling and swallowing while getting illegal veneers, whether you know that they're illegal or not. And then that's going directly into your bloodstream and being absorbed by your body. And then if that is something that you are swallowing and absorbing every day on an acute level, what that may turn into years later. Like, thinking long term, it seems unbelievable that people are able to do this and get away with this. Also, do you know that people have died from tooth infections? So imagine you get one of these illegal veneers, again, knowingly or not knowingly, and then you get a tooth infection and it infects your entire mouth. I think we know now, after the many stories that I have shared with you all, bacteria is something to be taken very seriously. And I think by now we all know not to mess around with how life-ruining bacteria can be, especially when it grows and spreads. So this is just, I can't believe this. Like that guy should be in jail. Like, these veneer techs should be in jail. Who's ever holding these veneer tech certification classes should be in jail. It's just unbelievable. Here's a video of a woman having to get her veneers removed because they were done by an illegal veneer technician. Yuck. The last thing that I want to say about veneers is I have never smelled veneer breath, and I never want to. Okay, next, our second crazy story is going to be our last because this shit is crazy. Mind-blowing. I could not believe it, the amount of time that I put in trying to research this, guys. Okay, listen. All right. So there is a place called VIP Plastic Surgery in Nevada. A woman goes blind in one eye from a non-surgical nose job with filler. The nurse injector from VIP Plastic Surgery was masquerading as a licensed practitioner. In Nevada law, it is required that the MD be present, but the doctor let his nurse handle all aesthetics unsupervised. So because of that, the victim now has full blindness in her right eye, altered perception, has to relearn how to drive, and has functioning issues from her perception being off. The story gets crazier, however. So the victim is telling the nurse injector that she just felt something shoot up into her right eye, and the nurse injector responds by saying, "That's normal, let me continue injecting." So she continues to inject, and then the victim starts to tear up down that eye and say that she can no longer see out of that eye. At which point the injector finally goes to find the plastic surgeon that was on site. When the doctor came in, he was agitated. He grabbed a scalpel, he cut open this area and then injected a medication in the eye, hoping that it would offset the blindness. It did not. After doing a little bit more research about this nose job gone wrong and looking into VIP Plastic Surgery and their plastic surgeon, Dr. Corsandi, I realized that there is another woman who is 23 years old who almost died from necrotizing fasciitis, which is a flesh-eating bacteria. She had a bubble in a breast implant from a previous surgeon, and she just wanted to have this bubble fixed. She goes into Dr. Corsandi's office, and he says that he doesn't need to take her to a surgery center to do this simple operation. So he did the procedure in his own office, and the following day, she returned feeling incredibly nauseous, sick, and so they gave her IV medications. He failed to admit her to a higher level of care on time. She was immediately diagnosed septic, went into shock, organ failure, and now her body is covered in scars. She spent over 4 months in the hospital trying to fight this flesh-eating bacteria, which had spread all throughout her body. The victim's lawyer even said it was as if she was being held hostage while Dr. Corsandi was trying to remedy this situation himself, when she should have been sent to an emergency room at a hospital many hours before they actually ended up doing so. Unfortunately, this young woman, who was, again, just 23 years old, she feels that she does not get to live the normal life of a 23-year-old because of her scars and her nerve pain. She was in an ongoing lawsuit with the doctor. I have no idea if it has settled or the status of that legal case. I wish I had access to more information. I'm so limited on how much I can actually dig into these cases, which is unfortunate. But upon digging into this case, I find another case. And that case is a wrongful death. Christopher Corsandi is going through a wrongful death lawsuit after doing facial reconstruction, including a nose job, eyebrow augmentation, and liposuction. And she was 47 years old. She died the next day after surgery. But here's the most bewildering part to me, guys. After looking all over the internet to see if I could find any of these complaints or lawsuits on the Nevada Medical Board, on the Board of Plastic Surgery, I found nothing. And I can prove to you that I found nothing. And you can look yourself and try to find something. And I know that's going on right now for a ton of doctors. You don't find anything. Nothing's listed. We deserve transparency as consumers. If any person wants to go get plastic surgery anywhere, it should be mandated for all offenses, pending court cases, wrongful deaths, flesh-eating bacteria cases to be reported. I even know of 2 women who got mycobacterium in their breasts from the same surgeon within 2 years of each other. But if you go and you look on the Florida Medical Board, nothing is listed. So I can talk to these victims. I can go on the news and find stories like this. I can even go in the court dockets and find the lawsuits. But what I cannot find is the reports on the medical board's website. It's unacceptable. I seriously have a problem with this because I know that a lot of victims could have probably avoided being victims if we had a better database to look up our surgeons and see their true history. It gets worse, guys. Okay, let's look at his Instagram. The doctor has over 170,000 followers on Instagram, several pictures with him and celebrities, really big influencers. We have some before and after pictures, some extremely inappropriate model pictures that I guess are part of collaboration. I mean, this does not look like an appropriate surgeon page, but it's also Las Vegas, and that's kind of the culture there, and probably, the majority of clientele align with that, and that's fine. It's just, it's not giving doctor vibes, that's just a little concerning. And then it gets worse. So on Google, he has a 4-star rating for his practice. But when you dig deeper, you actually find out that he's also in a defamation suit against another plastic surgery center nearby. So the New York Post has this article titled, "Plastic Surgeon and wife used fake Yelp reviews to damage a rival, and it's a defamation lawsuit. The craziest thing about this crazy story to me is the fact that someone on Instagram DM'd me the news article talking about the non-surgical nose job gone wrong. And from that one news article, I was able to go down this rabbit hole and discover 4 other cases of wrongdoing from the same doctor, Dr. Corsandi. I don't know if I can get sued for saying names. I mean, it's all public information. I'm just here reporting it, and I don't have any money, so how could I even get sued? Lastly, I would like to include some information that may be helpful for anyone. There's this website called ProPublic, and it's titled, "Your Doctor Might Have a Disciplinary Record. Here's How to Find Out." This is just one of the many tools that I was using in my research for Dr. Corsandi and found nothing. And then I used other tools that were recommended on the internet, including Nevada's medical board website, where they do have a list of doctors that have complaints filed on them, but I searched everywhere and Dr. Corsandi was nowhere to be found. So all this to say, it seems as though you can really get away with a lot before we even get to see it online. I would really love to understand the disconnect there. If there is a lawyer or a surgeon or someone that can help explain to myself and our viewers why this is even a thing, that would be amazing. But as you can see on this website, it shows which states are required to provide a full disciplinary history. Several states are not required, such as Alaska, Arkansas, Illinois, Michigan, Montana, Oklahoma, Pennsylvania, and Wyoming. So that's also insane to me that people who reside in those states have essentially no access to verify the safety of the doctor or plastic surgeon that they may be going to. I know that this country needs a lot of reform in many ways, but cosmetic procedures and plastic surgery is not going anywhere. It has only grown, and it will continue to. If it's going to continue to grow, and if rich people are going to continue to profit from really expensive procedures, we need better laws and better enforcement and better regulation. Anyways, that is all for today's episode of Crazy Stories. I know it wasn't the longest, but I'm just mind blown by the information that I learned in preparing for today's episode, and I hope that you guys also found it valuable. It's really such a blessing that I can come up here and share information and stories with you all, and to have guests on here and for you to learn about other people. It means the most to me. So thank you guys so much for the support, and I will see you next time. Okay. It's just lip gloss. Frenchie. Sit down. Okay. All right. You ready?